Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be discussing Bob Odell and him proving the Earth spins according to these globe heads. I'm going to break things down in a manner that's going to make things very easy for people to understand that he in fact proved the complete opposite. In fact, every time that you bring light into the equation is the only time you detect so-called Earth spin. And I'm going to explain to you why. This all goes back to Einstein and what Einstein ended up doing. Einstein ended up erasing the concept of ether out of mainstream science. Now, what ether was supposed to be is a substance that surrounds us, our atmosphere, and basically what scientists observed before Einstein was that light traveled through this ether, and not only that, this ether may very well be the conduit which light can exist, and only in this conduit can light exist. But not only that, it's spinning around us, and this is observable. Several experiments have proven that the ether and the stars are spinning above our head, Michelson and Morley for one, and so on and so forth. The sonic experiment, that was an observation. However, it backs up this observation. Now, it just so happens that the gyroscope that Bob used was in fact a fiber optic gyroscope and not a ring laser like they're wanting you to believe. They're completely based on two completely different principles, so we need to get that straightened away right away. Now, it's funny that you spend $20,000 on this piece of equipment that's using light instead of a mechanical spin up, right? A mechanical gyroscope, a traditional gyroscope, which funny enough doesn't detect this spin of the Earth at all. So if I take a traditional gyroscope and I spin it up to 1,000 RPM and I put it on a table and I set it there and I do all the calculations accounting for where I am on Earth and I calculate how much rotation I'm supposed to get out of that gyro per hour, I don't observe anything. That traditional gyroscope stays stationary, fixed in its spot no matter what. It's not until you use one of these gyroscopes that uses light instead of an actual mechanical observation. Now, as soon as you throw light into the equation, you have to realize the ether is going to play a huge effect on any observation that you make. So if the ether is in effect spinning around us, like the Michelson and Morley experiment proves perfectly, Airy's failure also confirms this perfectly. It's observable, okay? There has been stuff that we have done and observed in the natural world that confirms there is a substance that surrounds us that is moving around us at exactly, guess what? 15 degrees per hour. What does that tell you? Bob and the Globebusters team, FE Core, goes out and invests $20,000 to use modern technology. Now, this modern technology uses light. And before Einstein, all of the standard principles of science told us that the ether contained the light and the ether was spinning above our heads. What does that tell you about Bob's experiment? And it's not really an experiment. What does that tell you about Bob's observations? Form your own logic, people.